Welcome students to our class on parties and party system in India. In our last few classes, we had dealt with the Congress, we had dealt with CPI and CPM. And in my last class, I told you that these discussions will remain incomplete if we do not make an evaluation or critical evaluation. So obviously in this short video lecture, it's going to be short, but I'll try to mention a few important points so that you can understand that why the political parties like the Congress or CPM or the Left Front had faced challenges in recent politics or in recent electoral politics. So if you come to the CPI and CPM and other left political parties, I think few important points are responsible. Number one, the left parties were never uniform in the Indian states, because if you go by the electoral performance, if you go by the ideology and programs, you will find that the left parties were basically confined to West Bengal, Tripura and Kerala. So this was a problematic dimension, that these parties parties were not very much uniform across the states in India. Obviously they had influence in states like Punjab, in states like Bihar, ideological influence, but in terms of electoral performance they were not uniform. This is number one. Second important point that we need to keep in mind, the ideology of the party. It has always given importance to the ideology of the toiling masses, the working class, the peasants, and a kind of inclusive toiling mass. But what we need to keep in mind, that in Indian politics, it's not only the class, but the politics of religion, politics of caste, politics of gender, and you know how in 1990s Mandir was Masjid debate, all these things have played very important role in shaping Indian politics. So to some extent it was a kind of ideological challenge that the leftist political parties had faced in recent times, especially in the era of globalization. Another important point is known as historical blunder. In 1996, the leftist parties, they got the opportunity to form the government at the center, but they refused. So that to a large extent actually challenged their credentiality. So that is very important. Another blunder was, or another problem was, withdrawal of their support from UPA in 2008 on the basis of Indo-nuclear deal. So that again highlighted that these parties to a large extent were inconsistent when it came to the domain of national politics or making national alliances. So that we need to keep in mind, that this historical blunder, withdrawal of power from UPA government, so these actually challenged their reliability in national politics. Another important point for the leftist political parties is very important, is the challenge of leadership. If you ask me, I think the party to a large extent had failed to create their young leadership, those who could have shown the path for the future. So that is another important point that the party had faced. So these are the challenges I think you need to keep in mind while you are making a critical